Hey everybody, welcome back to Landshark Garage. This episode, we're going to keep working on the 3+3 so we can get it out of the garage. Here we go. So if you remember from the last episode, seats and carpet in, we still got to do the trim work, do some shiny stuff. We're going to have to clean these guys up and reuse them. But, you know, I've just been sitting here listening to the Doors. Good band. But there's some things going on here we got to take care of. Maybe not this episode, because as I did that, I realized that I need to move the 3+3 a little bit. That's a heavy thing. Hey, there's Jake. Hey, buddy. So this is what I've been affectionately calling the suck-in area, because I got a little closer to the door. But hey, spent about an hour and a half yesterday chipping this inner fender well and that fender out of the ice from the ice storm we had earlier this winter. Got that in, drying out. We're going to try and get that inner wheel well and fender put on. There's the hood we picked up. It's a little sun-baked, but hey, it's not rusted out. Hey, another cool thing. If you ever got to carry a hood by yourself, get one of these panel carriers from Menards for carrying 4x8 sheets of paneling and sheetrock and stuff. You can hook that bad boy right in there and up she comes. So don't worry about that. That's a 5.3. We don't want to talk about them. The internet is full of 5.3 swaps. We're not going to do that. But now this we could talk about. Small block Chevy. 350 cubic inches. Bored out 30 over. Probably going to go in the 49 before we go back to the 50s. I tell you how hard this goddamn thing was to push back and forth. It was crazy. So we gotta get our seatbelts in, and this is just like going to Golden Corral. There's so much on my plate for this episode, and I'm just not sure how far we're gonna get. I'll be happy if we get that fender and inner fender well on, get a chance to look over them doors, see where we gotta go there. We gotta order some paint so we can paint these jams. So we're not going to rush to put the doors on, but we're going to have to take a look at the door because I know they have some issues. Boy, do they have some issues. We're going to take a look at that when we get back over there. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. Fender, inner wheel well. Like I said, when we bought this truck, it came with new inner wheel wells and new front fenders that were in that black stuff, you know, but they haven't been on there for a couple years. This was going to be a fairly quick project we talked about, but not so much today. It seems like we just keep finding fun stuff to do, but can't wait to drive this. Can't wait to drive it out of this garage. Make some room. So even in order to get this turned a little bit so that I could get the front end out where I could work on it, I had to open the garage door, slide this big heavy humper back, turn it, and then push this side to the east, and then close the garage door back down after I moved all this stuff in so it could thaw out, because it is still winter out. Yep. So today, just me and Jake. Mrs. Landshark working with Dixie down at Rampart Station. That's an emergency reference from the 70s. Dixie and the Rampart Station from Squad 51. You don't get it. She's a nurse. She's hanging out and working her real job today. So, me and Jake. And a whole bunch of stuff to do. We have had some folks ask about this knucklehead here. Good old Jake. Right, buddy? He's a good dog. Jake is a AKC registered German Shorthair. A little over 2 years old. We got him December of 2020 during COVID. Mrs. Landshark and I were just getting over quarantine, and we were able to go get him from one of our local kennel. Had him. We're adding to our dogs. Of course, now all our older dogs have went on to greener pasture, so it's just Jake. Jake, the hired hand. He doesn't do nothing. But Jake's got his own Instagram page. If you guys are on Instagram, Landshark Garage is on Instagram. We'd love it if you'd come over and take a look at some of our stuff on there. Follow us. But Jake's got his own Instagram page with way more followers than Landshark Garage does. He's got 1,200 followers. Jakey_GSP on Instagram. All kinds of videos, all kinds of the shenanigans that these kind of little twisted tornadoes get into. Sometimes he seems like he's calm, but these dogs got a lot of energy, and it's nice to have them around. Well, here we are, hanging out with the doors. There's so little room here. The back doors off of the original 3+3, not really in bad shape. We're going to take a look at each one of them as I go through and see what we need to do. These blue doors are what we got off the donor vehicle in a junkyard crawl at my buddy's place. And if you go back and watch that video, you can see that. But one thing I didn't realize at that time is that they have this piece of trim on here with the yellow in it. And here's a fun fact. That yellow trim only came on 1977 Chevrolet square bodies. The reason I know this is ours is a 77 and it's got the yellow trim. Pretty useless information, but I was kind of excited to see that it had this yellow line trim on it, because I'm not sure how my pieces are for the front doors. We were able to salvage all our trim because we have this two-tone thing going on, but this thing is going to look like a patchwork quilt for quite a while, because it's going to have blue doors in the front, original doors in the back that'll probably have some primer on them. It's going to have this box, which we're hopefully, when we get it done, we're just going to put it all in gray primer. And them front fenders are black. That hood's, I don't know what color you call that, rust, you know, not rusted through, but there's very little paint left on them. So we are going to have quite a collection of colors here. So back doors, really not in bad shape. Not going to have a lot to do with them. They still have these cool chrome covers on them. We got those for the front ones if you've watched the episode. There's some rust down here in the corners on this that we're going to have to address. Maybe just be able to put a corner in there. Otherwise, that passenger side door, not too bad. The driver's side door, I noticed that there's a little bubbling going on under the paint here. That seems to be the biggest issue with this truck, is what's under the paint. The rust that is growing under the paint and just turn into crap, basically. You know, that door is straight. Both of them, they're just very straight, but they got these little bitty spots of rust that have started that we might as well address them. I'm probably going to need a donor door just so I can, you know, this one's right on this body line or that belt line, and that's going to be hard to try and recreate that if I'm just putting in a piece of metal there. So those doors, we're going to deal with what we got to deal with on them. Might even get to a little bit of that in this episode. These bad boys here, not in bad shape at all. Got some surface dingles going on. Got a little wind was too strong dent right here in the trim that I'm probably going to be able to work that out a little bit. But let's talk about these sport mirrors that this bad boy has on it. Very subtle mirrors. You don't see them, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, it's got mirrors. And I'm telling you, that's 10 washers stacked up there, boys and girls. That's how you get these big West Coasts to stay on here. And they got a little patina. These are the old number 72s made in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm pretty sure the mirror itself is in good shape. This one, samey same. Little subtle mirror, barely see it until you're looking, and then you're like, huh, look at that. That's a mirror. This one, mirror's not as in good a shape. Doesn't matter. They're gone. We're not going to have them on there. But look at this one. Instead of the 10 washer stack, dude used a bearing. Actually, I think that might be stock. I don't know. Don't know much about these mirrors. Good old number 72. But we're going to pop them off of there. Look at this. Look at those fasteners on top of that. Way more better than just the old 1/4 inch bolts driven into that. So I don't know what we're going to do about them holes. Have to deal with that. This one's got a little lichen on it. I'm not liking it. But same overall condition on this door too. Couple little dents and dings. Not any real rust. Gonna have to take these blue door panels off. Of course, we'll hang on to them because they're hard to get. This door, I believe, no, the driver's door, that piece of glass isn't working the way it's supposed to, and something's kind of hinky down in here. So we'll take a look at that and see if we got to get something ordered for inside of that. I don't know if the regulators, I'm not sure what it is till I flip it over and start tearing stuff apart, and that's probably what we're going to do. Get these mirrors off, get that flipped over so that we can see what's inside of it, see how much, if there's any actual rust work we have to do or anything. But it is what it is. Warmed up enough in here we can actually take off the old hoodie. That's kind of nice. Let's see if we can get these mirrors off. Think we'll get them off in one chunk, Jake? So these top bolts with this little stainless cap nuts on it with the points on them, they have like a T-bolt. Move. A T-bolt that holds them on. These look like they're actually stainless steel. Let me get one out. I'll show you what we're talking about. So probably gonna hang on to it. You never know when a guy might need that. See, it's just got a T-bolt so it lays flat in that channel so that you don't have a big hex head hanging off of it. And I'm not going to keep the mirrors, but that might be a handy little fastener for somebody. The worst part about these T-bolts is trying to get something to hold them. Yep, pretty sure they all have a nut behind them that's turning. Perfect. So let's flip this bad boy over, Jake. What do you think? Huh? We're just gonna call this Suck It In Saturday. Everything I gotta scooch around, I gotta suck it in. Get yourself a tool like this if you take off door handles, because it usually works 50% of the time. All depends on where the clip's at. There's one screw in the trim on these things, and it's right there in the nether regions. So we'll take that screw out. Don't cause any undue nether region stress. I am not feeling that clip in there. It'd have been a lot faster just to break this off, I'm pretty sure. There. I'm not going to keep the door handle, but I will keep this little clip to show you. I'm sure I've showed you them before. It's just a little clip that goes through that slot, holds it on there, and that kind of tool takes it off. What else we got here? Well, there's just no uncomfortable rust spots on this one. Like there is on the other one. that back there. Anybody looking for blue door panels for a square body, hit me up in the comments. So those panels are held in by little plastic screw retainers that you can move in and out, take out like that. I'll probably just leave them. We have our panels to go back on there once we figure out how to get to the nut. See it down there? And I have to stick a wrench in there. So it's got a plate behind it. And then there's those 3 nuts. So anyway, well, we talked about, oh, yeah, that's what it is. It's broken. Huh, how do you think we fix that? Jacob, Carl, huh? I think we gotta have this window up, take this out. Right? Doesn't look like it's pulling up the bestesses, but it'll be okayses. We already lost one Cyclops light. We think it's probably still attached to the Camaro down in the annex, the Landshark annex. Oh, there she is. Woohoo! Get you some of these things, man. They are sweet. I love this blue fuel, but I very rarely use it because this I can just like set it down inside of there and forget about it when it goes off. Oh, that little guy? Don't worry about that little guy. So, upcoming projects, things that we're working on. Once we get this bad boy rocking, we are going to put a different motor in the 49. Maybe put a different rear end in that. We've got that OSB long box Chevy pickup that we bought to take the motor and transmission and stuff out of and put in a yet to be determined project. We're looking at a couple different options. Most likely that's going to go into some type of 4-door car, so we got some place to haul the grandkids because we're pickup people, but we want to be able to take the kids and the babies and all that stuff along when we go places. So we're kind of looking at a couple different 4-doors. Station wagon, if someone could point me in the right direction, I'd take a station wagon. We're kind of in that 60s era is where we want it. 61, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. How's that sound? Gotta be a GM platform, preferably a Chevrolet platform. Let's see. Car shows. Plans for several of them. Actually, we're going to Rapid City for the Counts car show. That is this next weekend. So probably be right after this airs. Hopefully, we'll see if we get it out. If not, not a big deal. We'll probably be there on Saturday. We're gonna walk around, take a look around, take a little vacation out in the greater Black Hills area. And we got a few more lined up. Back to the 50s is always one of our mainstays, so we're definitely not gonna not go to back to the 50s. Well, this is fun. Remember, when you use a magnet to put a wrench in a hole, the magnet will also stick to everything else down there that's metal. I'm full of good information today. It almost looks like it's welded to the nut. That'll be great. This door, only real thing I'm going to have to do to it is fix that regulator so the window goes up and down. I'd probably rather do that out here than on the truck anyway, so I'm glad I caught that. I'm gonna lop her off, Jake. We're just gonna lop it off, buddy. Lop it off. We're just gonna cut her off. We're gonna lop it off. Work to save them pieces of junk. we go. Alright, so I'm thinking with these, both of these doors, this one, ow, dang it, let's do it, just do it like this. Weld holes. So we're gonna weld this hole, this hole, this hole, this hole, and these three. We'll just plug weld them, grind them down. Gonna need a little body work here, a little bit of a dent right here. And this one needs window regulator work. That'll probably still be on there this summer. So let's move on to the next one, huh, Jake? Should we do that? So we kind of got to play the same game on this side. So obviously this mirror got hit by something here because this door's got a big dippy doodle right here behind that fastener that we're going to have to address. Otherwise, once again, regulator's good on this one. No rust issues to work on. We'll flip it over and look at the other side before we're done with this front door setup. Yep, other than that, dip-de-doo up on top there. And that window rolls up and down, but it shouldn't. By the looks of that, I'll show you here. Hold on a second. See that? Whoosh. The old classic smacked a tree, driving through the backwoods, drinking hams, smoking Marlboros. I think we can pop that out of there. So, same as on the other side. Got to fill them holes in, fill these holes in. Nothing really else to do on this. Not concerned with anything. Sand her down and prime it. I think we'll probably prime these doors before we put them on, just because. But we'll know. Who knows? Blue goes with orange, goes with red, goes with whatever you want it to. All right, let's move on to these back doors and take a look. Well, heck, that back driver's side door looks like it rusted a little bit while it was sitting here. So instead of needing to just fix this little hoodinkus here, it really appears that on this door we're going to have to reskin it, which not really worried about that. Never done it before, but I guess we'll find out. Otherwise, I think everything else looks good on it. We knew everything worked on it, so hopefully, I have a door skin, but I think it only goes to this belt line right here. I think. I'll have to dig it out and look. Buddy, what are you doing? Huh? I know, you're so dumb. With my limited storage, I had to move the other two doors to the annex. I'm just kidding. They're sitting outside the car in the snow. Hey, did you steal that? Come here. Come here. Come here. Just because it falls on the floor does not mean it's yours. It's not yours. You got plenty of toys here. Okay. I'm liking this one a little better. So, everything's good here. You know, the driver's doors were rusted out like here. Such a weird spot. But then when we found the mouse induced rust on that driver's door, it does kind of make sense. So a little spot right here. right here, and right here. Just a little rusty corner here, maybe here. Big corner here. So I might be able to just cut that piece out. Either that or I'm going to go all the way across here. Like that. And we're okay because this truck makes us smile. We love the 3+3. No doubt about it. I know, you're saying, Mr. Landshark, you talented son of a biscuit. What? If you knew how to draw dogs that good, how come you haven't done it before? Alright, so we know what our plan is for the doors. Gonna have to go check our door skin collection. Make sure we got everything we need. That'll be another project. Everything down here looks good. Not gonna worry about them pans. They look good. So, do a little cosmetic stuff here. We'll have these doors done, sometime. If it gets warm enough, we don't need them. We'll just drive it like that. I don't look at that. I haven't got to grinding that yet. Haven't got the carpet trimmed. We'll get it. We're cruising right along. This is basically our weekend off project. We don't come out a lot at night because it doesn't really pay to heat the garage up. In the summer, you know, we go out and hang out, but in the winter we spend our time inside researching on YouTube. Is that what you call it? Researching. So we don't come out on weekdays, and we work every third weekend. The both of us do. So a lot of times it's just a Sunday or Saturday, Sunday, or in the case when I work weekends, it's Sunday, Monday sometimes. So we're just cruising along. So we're done with the doors. Let's put a fender on that driver's side. Here we are, way on the other side of our shop, the vast Landshark garage empire. And we're gonna put this inner fender well and fender on the front of the old 3+3. If I remember how to do it. Looks like we have some leave induction I got to get rid of there first. We did the other side several months ago and put it on, and we had our best luck putting the inner fender well on the fender first. If you go back and watch that video, you'll see the debacle we had to begin with where we messed around for a long time. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount this. Got all my fasteners I keep in a bag. We took this front fender off 9/26 of 20. So it's been off for a little bit. Had to pick up some new 5/16 U-bolts. Pick up some extras because I'm always looking for them. Should have everything ready to go up here, I hope. I guess we'll find out. But we'll see. So let's get after this. Right, Jake? That's not a bad puddle for this thing having been in here as long as it's been in. I think we might have to put a different manifold on the other side. Still got a little bit of tick after we did this manifold. So, yep, here we go. All right, so like I said earlier, just dug these fresh out of the ice yesterday. Got them all nice and dried off. These came with the truck, like I said, and they've already been, the inners have already been painted to match the truck. And we had to repair this, if you remember that from one of the videos. We had a little mouse infusion right here that tore stuff up, so we had to put a panel in, fabricate a panel and put it in here so that this top piece has some place to hook. And this is some touch-up paint that we found that is kind of close. We're going to go with it for now because they don't make touch-up paint for this that I can find. Well, I'm sure there's some on the internet. But we'll go ahead and put these U-bolts in and start putting that inner fender on. See how far we get going on that project. Got all the old fasteners, kept everything in a bag, so Hopefully I have everything I need sitting right here so I don't have to walk all the way to the other side of the shop to... So there's 7-ish spots around here that have a U-nut on them that hold the inner wheel well on. Like I said, most of them went with the old fenders, so I had to go buy some new ones to have some of the... Look at these cool little eyebrows I just found. Well, I've always had them, but it's got round headlights on the front of it. I might put them on there. Be all classy. Not like that. One on the top of each one. I'm trying to remember where my shims went. It's only been a couple years. Shouldn't be that hard. Trying to just get everything set up. Making sure what bolts I need. 3 here. One where we replaced this one. And then the one that goes down from the top, they both have shims. There's one that goes up from the bottom, in from the bottom into here, like into that hole right there. And there's some that go along here on the frame. I just want to have these bolts ready so that I'm not mad at myself about it when I'm trying to get things rocking and rolling here. YouTube, do you know? So there's this bolt is made for cutting. Sure looks like it belongs in there. That's already got threads cut. I bet they are. Because there's only 3 of them. I only find 3 of them. So I'm pretty sure they're the ones that's got to go in there. Oh, there's another one. 4 of them. Self-cutters. There's another funky-fied one I found. Got like a little shoulder on it. That'll be interesting. I got that one to go. This guy to go. It's a lot easier when I have my little helper, Mrs. L. So I'm having a tough time getting these 2 bolts. It's almost as if the radiator support needs to go back a skosh, not a bunch, just a skosh. But it's not very keen on moving, so I can't get the fender to come forward anymore. This one I can almost get this bolt in, but there's 4 more bolts there that have to go in. Plus there's 2 up here that have to go in. Pretty sure we'll be adjusting all this when we start lining up everything anyways. Fender. Finally. Next will be hood. Exciting. Got a couple bolts I got to put in down here and the bolts that are down here, but I'm not crawling on the floor to do that today because when we start lining up doors and stuff, we're going to have to adjust all this. Doors are next. It's already got the holes in it for the emblem. Looks like I scratched it a little bit when I was chipping it out of the ice. Hope I won't get in trouble for that. Alright, as always, thanks for hanging out with us this week. We appreciate it. Never forget, drive your ship. We'll see ya.